Okay, welcome back. In this video about the SuperFly Delta Wing, I'm going to demonstrate the new prop I put on it. It's a 9.38 slow flyer, and in the previous video you saw why. In flight characteristics, it's much easier to take off. 60% power is all you need. It'll cruise all day long around with about 40 to 50% power. And a couple other things I changed. I changed the dual rates. In the low rates for the ailerons, they're down to 60 on the low rates and 80 on the mid rates. And on the elevator, I moved the rates up to 80 on low and up to 90 on mid. So those are the changes I made to the the transmitter. And so I'll demonstrate a couple of takeoffs and landings here. All right, let's get the radio on first. Okay, radio is ready. Plug it in. All you get's the one beep. Don't know why, but that's all it does. So flight pack says 8.3 volts. That's good. And here we go. Wind's out of the northwest there, so I'm going to throw it directly at that barn over there. Not throw it, I'm going to let it go in that direction. So here we go. Throttle cut is off. Test the controls. Test the prop. Okay. And I'm going to get a little closer to this stand here. And here we go. Up to about 60-65% power. Last time I was having to use 100%, but this should work well. After it gets going, I pull it back to like 40 to 50% power. You could hear that.
Flight pack 8.1 volts.
Okay, and so it climb up above the trees. You might be able to see it a little better above the trees. I'm gonna go to high rates and do a roll. Don't leave it at 100% power for very long. You're at the limit of both the battery and the motor, and not close to the ESC yet. The ESC is a 20, and the amps at full power is about 16 amps. But I still wouldn't leave it at 100% for very long. You just don't need 100%. I'm going to switch back to low rates. And on low rates with there's 40% power, it's going to fly quite well. You'd want to trim the elevator for about 50% power. Let me see if it's how trimmed it is. Give it a couple of clicks of up trim, and it's flying quite well. Okay. It also does very well just above the ground.
Flight pack 7.8 volts. Time remaining 6 minutes.
Do a low pass. Do a little figure 8 here. Woo! And that's what happens if you get too low and slow. It hits the ground. Okay, that little bump on the ground there wasn't too damaging. Airframe's in really good shape. The only problem that happened was the propeller struck right here and knocked the chunk out. I'll tell you what happened. I got low and slow, and with low rates that's not a good thing. So I pulled back on the stick full, and I didn't have enough elevator authority to pull it around, and it nosed in. I think it basically stalled. So if you're going to get low and slow, get on a higher rate. We'll same battery, we're going to go again. Now I'm on low rates for takeoff, and I'm going to switch to mid rates for flight. So low rates for takeoff. Here we go. Throttle cut is off. Prop works. Okay, and here we go. A little bit better takeoff. Pull the power back 10%. And switch to mid rates. You'll have a, you can't get the nose too high or it does stall. There's a stall right there. Power gets you out of it, so you got to be ready to add the power if you get too low and slow. There's a lot of power in this thing. I rarely fly it above 60% unless I'm trying to go vertical, like this.
Flight pack 7.4 volts.
Okay. Don't stay vertical too long because it won't stay vertical too long. So you have to use a combination of throttle when you need it and a lot of elevator to do any maneuvers or tricks here.
Flight pack 7.4 volts.
That little chunk out of the where the prop was will not cause a problem. Okay, that was a nice smooth landing. Okay, you can see that the flag is slowing down actually right now. It's up to 6 to 8 knots. It's now slowing down to below 5 knots. And it changed direction from the northwest to the northeast, so I'll have to watch that. The other thing I was able to recover was the small piece of foam that I knocked out of the wing, the prop knocked out of the wing. So I'll glue that, and we'll have that on the next trip out. Okay, so I'm going to fly a little bit further to the northeast. I'm sorry, northwest here. The winds are still from the north and northwest. They've picked up a little bit from the last time I showed you the flag. And so radio's on. I'm going to go ahead and plug the airplane in. Throttle is still cut. Okay, got a new battery, so we'll check the battery voltage on the receiver here. On the transmitter, it says 8.3. That's good. All right, so here we go. Again, simple hand launch, straight at that barn there with about, check the controls. Switch to low rates for takeoff, and we're ready. Okay, that was a hairier takeoff than I wanted. I actually had the power up too much on that takeoff. We're going to come back and try another takeoff better than that.
Flight pack 8.1 volts.
I'm gonna landing right in front of me, hopefully. All right, cartwheels are okay for landings. Whenever you do a landing, okay, whenever you do a landing, you always make sure that the battery's back where it was supposed to be. It moved just a little bit. And we still got plenty of flight time on this battery, so we're going to take it off again. I'm going to move a little bit closer so I'm away from this. That was part of my problem last time, so here we go. Well, okay, that was not enough power. We're going to try this again. All right, so we're going to try this again. Here we go. That's better. Better takeoff. And I am on low rates.
8.0 volts. Time remaining 6 minutes.
One of the reasons I like this aircraft, it's like my Hyperfly. It does a very good job in teaching you how to react quickly to whatever the aircraft is doing. And the reaction has to be accurate in terms of, do I need to add power? Do I need to let go of the elevator? Do I need to change the bank angle? What is it I need to do quickly to keep it up in the air? That was a roll on low rates. And here we go.
Flight pack 7.8 volts. Time remaining 5 minutes.
As I was getting close to the ground, I realized, okay, yep, I better add some power if I don't want to hit the ground. And that's the mistake I made on that first crash too. I should have added some power and didn't. This thing flies similar to the Hyperfly, which I'm used to flying. However, you have to react probably a little bit quicker. The Hyperfly flies a little bit slower than this because it's smaller. But if you get to 90 degrees of bank, get ready to bring it back around. So I'm going to go to mid rates and see how the reaction time is with mid rates. You do have to react quickly, and this is why I use this for teaching, to improve students' reaction times. After they've learned to fly just a standard airplane, you got to learn how to react quickly to things, and this thing will teach you that, especially in a 10-knot wind. The winds have calmed down. They're less than 5 right now, probably 3 to 5. And so when you get 8 to 10 knots of wind flying this thing, the wind buffets it around and you got to react quickly to it. And it requires you to control the throttle carefully. You'll see that on some of these, you can't see it, but on some of these turns, I'm using max deflection of the elevator to make that turn happen. Okay, that's a max deflection of the elevator. Okay, it stalled and started into a spin. Just let go of everything and let it recover.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
If you ever get the nose pointed down like that was, get some power in and recover it. That's what happened on the second landing out there, I'll call it, was I ended up level to the ground, but not enough distance between me and the ground to continue flying. So it is a little bit trickier aircraft to fly. I don't recommend it for a novice student, but someone who is recently qualified as a good RC pilot would enjoy this to learn how to react quickly to an airplane, especially in winds. I'll fly this in winds that I won't fly a regular airplane.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes remaining. I'm going to see if I can do a decent landing coming at us. Switching to low rates. Coming right at me. All right, nice skid landing.
Flight pack 7.6 volts.
Okay, I want to show you also that, you know, skid landings, cartwheel landings, no matter how you land, this thing stays intact pretty well. The prop is the only problem. I'm going to glue that piece back on. And the only thing you have to worry about is the motor moving. But the receivers are tacked down quite well, so they're not going anywhere. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.